Okay guys, welcome to today's class. Today's class is about capital budgeting technique. So we have already discussed there are two types here. One is non-discounted cash flow, which is also called as traditional method, and another one is discounted cash flow. So here we are just going to start with non-discounted cash flow and are going to have an elaborate discussion. So the very first concept here is payback period. So what is meant by payback period? Payback period represents the time period required for recovery of the initial investment in the project. Okay. So those projects with shorter payback period is recommendable to choose. Okay. So this payback period computation can be classified into two types. One is for uniform cash flows. It is for annual cash flows, and another one is for unequal annual cash inflows. So under uniform cash inflows, we are using a direct formula, which is nothing but total initial investment divided by net cash flow after tax per annum. Under unequal cash inflows, we will be using a cumulative cash inflow method, guys. Okay, let us understand the concept better by seeing few examples here. First, let us see an uniform cash flow per annum. Okay, what happens? How to compute your payback period if there is an uniform net cash flow over the time. Question number 1 is, a project with an initial investment of rupees 100 lakh generates net cash inflow after tax of rupees 25 lakh per annum. Okay. So how you will be computing, because there is an uniform cash flow. So this, it is so simple. You will be writing the formula. The formula is nothing but initial investment divided by net cash inflow after tax per annum. Okay. So it is nothing but your initial investment is 100 lakhs and your net cash flow after tax per annum is 25 lakhs. So the payback period is 4 years. That is, in 4 years you will recover the initial investment of rupees 100. So one thing to be noted here is, let us consider two project, guys. So the payback period of project A be 4 years and payback period of project B be 3 years. So among these two, which one you will be choosing? So the one to be chosen is project with lesser payback period. So in that case, project B will be chosen, guys. Why so? So same 100 lakhs will be recovered in 4 years if you go for project A. The same 100 lakhs will be recovered within 3 years if you go for project B. That's why we are choosing projects with lesser payback period. Okay. I believe you understand this concept. Okay, now guys, payback period in case of unequal cash inflow over the time. Here also, let us understand the concept with an help of an example. Okay, suppose XYZ Limited is analyzing a project requiring an initial cash outlay of rupees 2 lakh and expected to generate cash inflows as follows. Year 1, 2, 3, 4. So totally 4 years. So cash inflows in each year is 80,000. For second year it is 60,000. For third year it is 60,000. And for fourth year it is 20,000. Okay. Here the cash flows are unequal. Right? So what are the steps involved here to compute your payback period? Okay. First we must be computing our cumulative cash flow. So first step is computation of cumulative cash flows. Okay, let's write year, annual cash flows and cumulative cash flows. So the years are 1, 2, 3 and 4. The annual cash flows 80,000. For second year it is 60. Third year again it is 60 and fourth year it is 20,000. So your cumulative cash flow is nothing but 80,000 for first year, For second year 80 plus 60 it is 140. So for third year 140 plus 60 it is 2 lakhs, and for the fourth year, so totally it comes to be 2,20,000. This is our first step. Eventually in the third year itself we are completely recovering the 2 lakhs. So the payback period is nothing but 3 years, guys. So this is the method when there is an unequal cash inflow. Simply find the cumulative cash flows, and with the help of the cumulative cash flows you will be arriving your payback period. Okay, let us see. In the same example above, I'm just changing my initial investment into rupees 2,05,000. Okay, so the same steps involved. The first one is nothing but computation of cumulative cash flow, years, your annual cash flows, and finally it is your cumulative cash flow. So totally 4 years. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 80,000 for first year and 60,000 for second year and 60,000 for third year and 20,000 for fourth year. Similarly, you are just going to find the cumulative cash flow as we did in the previous sum, but the amount I have to recover is rupees 2,05,000. So the payback period is between 3 and 4, right? Third and fourth year. So by third year I will be recovering 2 lakhs. So it's 3 years. So out of 20,000 in the fourth year, I must be recovering only 5,000. So that my total comes to be 2,05,000. So out of the 20,000, I'm just going to recover the 5,000. So what happens is after you're solving, so it is nothing but 3 into 1 by 4. So in terms of years, it is nothing but 3 years, 3 months. So in 3 years, 3 months, I will be recovering my entire initial investment. So it is how I computed is 1 divided by 4 into 12. There are totally 12 months in a year, right? So 1 divided by 4 into 12 will give the calculation in terms of month. Okay. Okay, guys. So simple. So now let us go into the next example. So initial investment is rupees 100 lakh, is same for both the project A and B. The net cash inflows after taxes for project A is 25 lakh per annum for 5 years, and those for project B over its life of 5 years are 20 lakh, 25 lakh, 30 lakh, 30 lakh and 20 lakh respectively. So from this you can easily understand that payback period of 2 projects to be computed. And another thing to be kept in mind is for project A, the cash flow is equal, the annual cash flow is equal, whereas for project B, the annual cash flow is unequal. So guys, so payback period for project A is nothing but initial investment divided by net cash flow after tax per annum, nothing but 25, which comes to be 4 years. So the 100 lakhs will be recovered in 4 years in case of project A. Okay guys, so the payback period of project B. So we already know the project B cash flow is unequal. So here the payback period will be computed based on the cumulative cash flows. So what we will be doing here, we will be opening a tabular column, right? Yes. So in which we will be having our year, annual cash flow and cumulative cash flows. So there are totally 5 years. So the 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs and 30 and 20 are the cash flows in each year. So I am just going to find my cumulative cash flows. So what happens here? I just invested 100 lakhs. So in year 4, I am getting 105 lakhs, right? 105 lakhs. But I should be computing my payback period of rupees 100 lakhs alone. So you should be taking the previous year. So in third year, I will be getting back my 75 lakhs. After that, how much amount is left in 100 lakhs? It is nothing but 25 25 lakhs. So out of 30 lakhs I must be recovering only 25 lakhs. So what happens is 3 years to 25 divided by 30. So for 1 year it is 30. So for how many months I will be getting back my 25 lakhs? So 3 years 5 by 6, that is 3.83 years I will be getting back my investment amount. So among those two projects, project A and project B, the shortest period to be choose. So project B is optimum to be chosen, because within 3.83 years I will be recovering my 100 lakhs, whereas if I go for project A I will be recovering the same amount in a span of 4 years. So it is good to go for project B. Okay guys, let us discuss another sum. A project costs rupees 20 lakh and yields annually a profit of rupees 3 lakh after depreciation at 12.5 percentage. Straight line method guys, but before tax 50 percentage. Again this is an equal cash flow concept. Okay, we are going to compute the payback period where the cash flows are equal. So first of all, before going into the sum, we must be computing what? Net cash flow, right? We are computing the net cash flow after tax, because they haven't provided the net cash flow after tax. So computation of net cash flow after tax. What's happened here? Already they are provided with profit before tax, right? Yes. So let us see what is our profit before tax. It is nothing but 3 lakh minus tax. It is nothing but 50%. They already provided in the question. So 50% of 3 lakhs is nothing but 1,50,000. So deducting the same, I will be getting our profit after tax, which is 1,50,000. So after with PAT, I must be adding the non-cash item, which is depreciation. Depreciation is nothing but 12.5% of what? Of 20 lakh of my investment, right? I am just going to depreciate that, right? Yes. So 12.5% of 20 lakh, it is nothing but 2,50,000. So the total net cash flow after taxes 4 lakhs, guys. So now I got my initial investment and my net cash flow after tax. So 20 lakh by 4 lakh is nothing but 5 years. So in 5 years I will be recovering the initial investment. Okay, so that's all for today's discussion guys.